it. Welcome all to the FTFL weekly update. I am Sir Benedict and I'm filling in tonight. Brett said he had a very important phone call to make. Now, of course, he did not leave me the keys to the studio, so I am stuck here in the FTFL lounge. Now, I am very familiar with your league. I've been a follower since its inception, and I'll be honest, close it, Hulkamaniac. Go, Hulkamaniacs. But more on that later. Week 12 is in the books. Your league is now staring the final week of the regular season square in the beady eyes. Two of your teams this week, Joan and Salty, secured first round buys, while two others, Jeff and Deesum, by lack of winning from the other teams, find themselves in the playoffs, most likely third and fourth seed, kind of juggling about however that may go. Now, Brett, you never know. Win and he's in. Sid, same thing. Win and he's in. Andy, Eric, well, there are some question marks there. They have a path to the playoff, as did Adam Swart. Of course, his path was shuttered on Thanksgiving Day through the Trubisky, what should we call it? The Trubisky debacle? No, it doesn't quite. The Trubisky tragedy. That'll be it. The Trubisky tragedy of Thanksgiving. If those of you worried about Eric and his injury, the knee is healing quite well, and it sounds like he'll be up and kicking couches very soon once again. Speaking of kicking couches, I'm sure that Jeff, owner of the Three Pants Lucky Time champ Menars, 7-4, are on a bit of a slide now, and it continued this week against Team Linkowitz, who got their 9th victory. I went back over the annals, yes, I think that's it, of your league, and I cannot find one single regular season where Linkowitz had 9 victories. That is quite impressive stuff. So, and really his team this year is looking spectacular. Juju Smith-Schuster with 28.5, Barkley with 27.5, Zach Ertz with 15.5, and of course there is the keeper, as how Brett refers to him. The keeper had 9. Not sure that's what's spurring this forward. However, 9 is the number of victories for Linkowitz. Menard now loses again a couple weeks in a row. The White Mamba with 18. Ben Roethlisberger, 18. Adam Vinatieri, let's be honest, the original kicker/keeper, with 10. Deshaun Watson, 26 on the bench. Who do you play? Roethlisberger, Watson, you're in the same quinky-dink that Eric finds himself. However, you are in the playoffs, Eric, not quite yet. On to Ryan Deesum, and I'm sure quite nice, titties and ball, at 7-4, taking on the Pack Attack, a rematch of last week's festivities. Although, flip-flop, this week, the Pack Attack wins 129-103. Eric found a way to win up huge on Thanksgiving Day thanks to Amari Cooper's 36. Drew Brees puts in 26. Lamar Miller on Monday night, 20.5 for the come-from-behind victory. Deesum played luck, 24.5. Another great week for him. The Baltimore defense, 16. Boyd and Jones both had 13.5. Back and forth throughout the week. Deesum doesn't get the victory, however, he's in. Eric needs one more and help. Speaking of help, that's what the dear Hulkamaniacs coming in at 5-6 so desperately need. They lost their third straight game, 60.5 points, not enough to take down the Monkeys at 85.5, who moved to 9-3 and a first round bye. Melvin Gordon, 17, and let's be honest, Melvin Gordon is not going to be around for a while, so be curious to see how that plays out. Eric Ebron, of course, Brett ran him down verbally last week, comes back to bite him this week, 16.5. Tom Brady was 16. If you're Brett, Corey Davis had 20. A receiver scored points. Yay, Brett! Chris Carson, 11. Aaron Rodgers, 8. 3 touchdowns total for his starting lineup this week. However, with all of that, still a firm grasp on the steering wheel that is the playoff bid. Now, of course, it might be the steering wheel of a 1986 Escort that's rattling down the hallway on his last leg, but he's holding on with a death grip, waiting, hoping for a victory next week. But next week we'll have to wait, because for right now I've been told it is time for Don't Be salty.
This is the Coach Hotline. I'm your coach, Coach Saltmarsh. I'm here to help you guide your team to victory week to week. Hey, look it, we got a call now. Fantasy Football Hotline, this is Coach Saltmarsh. How can I help you? Hey, Coach, I really need your help. Thanks for answering the phone. I'm here for you. I got your back. Don't worry about it. But, dude, is that a cat I hear? Oh, sorry about that, Coach. Yes, that is my cat, Wonder Woman. I just love that little fur ball. Nice. So, what's your issue? Coach, I need your help. I can't find the time to dedicate to fantasy football. I dropped the ball this week. And my quarterback, I should have swapped him out, but I didn't have time because it was Thanksgiving. And I got 0 points. And I'm in the playoff hunt, and going forward, I need guidance on when to submit the lineup to be properly prepared for the upcoming week. You got any suggestions for me? All right, here's the plan. You're lactose intolerant, aren't you? This is what you're going to do. You're going to brew your cup of coffee. Oh, you're going to smell it. Ooh, Folgers is in my cup, my friend. Yes. Then you're going to reach into the refrigerator. Instead of reaching for the coconut milk as your creamer, you're going to reach for the real stuff, the whole milk, and you're going to pour that in there. But you have to do this early in the morning. So right around 10 o'clock, your stomach's going to be then you're going to head to the bathroom and make sure you bring your cell phone because that gives you enough time to make sure you plan for your fantasy football week. And you're going to submit your lineup and you're going to make it happen. Coach, you are brilliant. Thank you so much. I can't wait to try that. I'm looking forward to next week. My friend, you're welcome. Anytime you need fantasy football help, just call the hotline.
That's very interesting. I've watched a lot of this, and I didn't actually see salty in that one. I don't know. The coach seemed rather intuitive. I guess by the sound of that man's voice, he knew that he was lactose intolerant. That's rather impressive. And then I would agree, the loo is a really good place to get things done and I guess conduct your business, if you will. And business is what was conducted when the King of the North took on the Architect. 5-6 for the King of the North. Architect 3-8. Almost, well, as of last week, not going to be in the playoffs. The King of the North now pushed him even further to guarantee he has the worst record in the league this year. 132 over 95.5. Architect, a good week, but of course not good enough. Christian McCaffrey for the King of the North. 31.5 points. That little man catching all sorts of passes out of the backfield. Kirk Cousins added 24. Stephon Diggs added 14. 2 of his players were under double digits. He is now in the driver's seat for the playoffs, of course, has to win. If he loses, he still might potentially get in, but it gets a bit murky. For the Architect, Kenyon Drake, 20.5 points. Ezekiel Elliott, 16.5. Case Keenum, 14. The Bengals defense netted you 0. Pretty much while you lost. Then again, you've been losing for a while now. Speaking of losing, this next and last matchup of the week has losing written all over it, although maybe winning with regards to the decent. That's right, Pump coming in at 4-7, taking on the Pit of Misery, Dilly Dilly. Love it. At 4-7, both technically still in the playoff hunt, and what transpired on Thanksgiving morning shall go down potentially in the annals of league history as one of the biggest blunders I've ever seen. Trubisky not going to play, yet found himself in the starting lineup for Adam Swart. Of course, that cost him $5. It got him a 0 and moved him into a very tight race for the DSOM award. In fact, it was pointed out to him that a mistake very similar to this is why the award was created in the first place. So, of course, his name now may find itself etched in history on the seat. We'll have to wait and see. Pit of Misery, Dilly Dilly, 79. Pump, 74.5 points. If you're the Pit of Misery, Russell Wilson, 22. Julian Edelman, 12. Tucker had 11. They were the only 3 in double digits. Fournette for Pump, 19.5. Sony Michel, 15. Aaron Jones, 13.5. However, Trubisky, 0. And Greg Olsen, 1. I'll smell that. Now I know what Brett's talking about when he's talking about the dud. It definitely has a smell to it. Greg Olsen was averaging 6+ points a week since he came back. 1 point, didn't get it done. He lost by less than 6 points, so there you have it. You could have won multiple ways in this one. You didn't. Now you head forlorn into what truly is the toilet bowl, fitting enough for week 13. But first, the stud, the dud, and the decent. The stud of the week was Amari Cooper at 36. Helped Eric get that much-needed victory and maybe, just maybe, into the playoffs. Of course, he's going to need help. The dud of the week, Greg Olsen. You perform average, at least your average, and Swart wins and is maybe avoiding being in conversation for the decent. However, you didn't. He is. And we move on. The decent award update, the aforementioned Swart. Of course, Brett's team's complete and utter collapse down the stretch should be noted, and I would be amiss if I didn't at least mention that John kept a kicker. You don't do those things, John. Week 13, final of the regular season. King of the North, 6-6, taking on the Hulkamaniacs, 5-7, the true king of the FTFL. A off with their heads match, if you will. Pack Attack at 5-7, taking on Manar, 3-time Lucky Pants champ Manar at 7-5. The Monkeys at 9-3, taking on the Pit of Misery, Dilly Dilly at 5-7. One of those two teams gets a win this week with some help, maybe find themselves in. Most likely will be Sid and or Brett, and then maybe the other. Ryan Deesum 7-5 taking on Linkowitz at 9-3, and the Architect at 3-9 taking on Pup at 4-8. And let's be honest, what truly is the toilet bowl match. Until then, I guess, thank you for letting me into your homes this fine evening. I pray that your week 13 turns out as you would like it to turn out. And until next time, for Brett, this is the weekly update. Signing off. Toodaloo. Hey, Aaron, man, it is Brett. How you doing? Okay, right, I suppose. Yeah, you and me both, buddy. We're both kind of feeling it right now. But good news. Reports are in. It looks like they're going to let McCarthy go at the end of the season. So it worked. It totally worked. I mean, week 1, the whole faking it, kind of making people think that you were playing hurt, so maybe it wasn't the greatest, and you just kind of been not quite full throttle. Perfect. Plan is going to come to fruition. Now, though, I do need you these last couple weeks to ratchet it up a little bit. I got big games coming. You guys got to finish on a strong note. So can you give it this Sunday? Can you give us the old Aaron Rodgers? Bring him back. You can? Perfect. Awesome, man. We'll talk to you later. Good luck, buddy. See you later. Bye.